And welcome, everybody. Hey, I think we did it.
Oh, jolly good.
Jolly good.
Jolly good, old chap.
Is that okay? Have you ever said that in your regular life? Jolly good, old chap. Unless you were making fun of something.
Probably.
No, you've never said jolly good in your life as far as a regular. That's what people think Brits do all the time, right?
Yeah.
They think that you walk around with, oh, jolly good.
Jolly good, old
chip,
chap.
Chip and cheerio.
Yes. Cup of tea and a slice of cake.
All right. So I'm Kimberly Mann, and this is my lovely, clearly British husband.
And I'm Russell Man. Can you tell by the Union Jack? Woohoo.
Oh, my goodness. And we are definitely decked out in Shore West tonight. Look, I've got my Shore West thing on.
And I've got my Shore West thing on.
Yeah. It just happened to be. We didn't even know because you get dressed in a different room from me.
Yeah.
You have a closet in a whole nother room, so you have a nice big closet for yourself. And I get to keep my nice big closet to me. Yeah. And, we don't even see each other until we make a decision.
And then we have to shove your stuff over a bit.
Yeah, then you make me shove over.
Make a little bit of room for my...
I don't think that's fair that I'm the one that has to shove over. That doesn't make sense.
Well, I have to carry my stuff through into our room.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You poor thing. Anyway.
I'm diddled.
Anyway, tonight, oh, that's a terrible term. You're not supposed to use that term.
Oh, no, I mustn't use that because it means a completely different thing over here.
Well, in
the UK.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was completely different. You'll have to tell me what it means in the UK, but we'll not talk about that too much tonight. However, our topic tonight is all about corner houses. And not like the corner house. Not the corner house that has, or I don't know.
Moved, that isn't
that isn't on the corner anymore. The corner house that is no longer on the corner. It's now at the end of the cul-de-sac. That's about the only way you could say that, or at the end. It's on a cul-de-sac. It's on
I suppose it's on the corner of the river.
The harbor, actually. The river, that's like the mouth of the river where it is, because that's like right by the marina. So anyway, so the corner house that's no longer on the corner, but this is not about the corner house and prime rib and all of that. This is a topic tonight about a question that not a question, but a statement that's made to you all the time as a buyer's agent. What is that? What do people say to you all the time?
I don't want to live on the corner because they're more expensive, aren't they?
Aren't the taxes more expensive on the corner? Like, taxes are more expensive on a corner house. So I don't want to have that. House. But that's
it's a fallacy.
Ooh, that's a big word. Fallacy.
Yeah.
What does fallacy mean, Russ?
It's a big word.
No, what does it mean? If you're going to use it, you should probably know what it means.
False, fake.
Yeah. It's like fake news. It's like fake news.
It is.
Yes.
Fake news.
Oh, so a fallacy is something that everybody...
expose the fallacy that is corner houses are more expensive.
Yeah, the idea that a corner house is more expensive on taxes is just not true. No. So let's talk about what actually does affect the taxes. Because obviously different houses, different places, all these different sizes and shapes and whatever, all of those things, houses do have different taxes. So why do people think that a house on a corner has that, do you think? Has higher taxes?
I think it's probably because in a lot of areas, corner houses tend to be on a slightly bigger lot.
Sometimes they are bigger lots.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not.
Taxes are relevant with lot sizes.
Yeah, exactly. Lot size actually is one of the factors that the municipality takes into account.
And so if your house is sitting on a bigger lot, your neighbour may be on 0.11 of an acre,
right?
And you're on 0.15, 1.5 or even a quarter of an acre. Being a corner lot, you might have a double-sized lot.
But if your lot is exactly the same size, if lot is exactly the same size as your neighbor's, then that's not going to be a factor. But
the only disadvantage of living on a corner is if you've got sidewalks on both sides, because you're responsible for clearing the snow.
Unless you like to.
It's not going to cost you anymore.
Only in gas in your snowblower.
Yeah.
But and the thing is, And some people actually like that. Some people like to clear sidewalks. They actually do that as their exercise during the winter. Like, they don't go to the gym as much or for as long because they're on a morning when they clear the sidewalk.
Well, if you've got a good snowblower as well, it's
it doesn't take. It makes quick work.
With our new snowblower, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you just go right through it now.
Yeah.
The new one that we got this winter.
The older one, not so much, but this one.
Yeah, but that was more like an electric snow shovel. It really wasn't meant to be a true snowblower. And it lasted 4 or 5 years and did okay for that time. It still lasted a little bit. But, okay, so lot size is something that affects the taxes. What's something else that affects the taxes?
The value of the home.
Okay, so...
If it recently sold, the city are going to look at the price that it's sold for. And if the neighbourhood is carrying a higher price, they will look at that over the course of the year or two, and they will bring your taxes up in line.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So there are lots of different things that affect that. So we've got lot size so far. We've got house values in your neighborhood, so your location. That's really what. So basically,
because the assessor can't come into your house.
Right. So far we have lot size and location.
Yeah.
Number 3, which is the one that a lot of people overlook and don't pay a lot of attention to, in my opinion, at least they overlook it, is square footage.
Yeah.
So square footage is a big deal. Like,
so if you add on a sunroom or,
Yep. Or if your house is bigger than your neighbor's. Because look at West Racine. Some places of West Racine, you've got ranch style homes, and other places in West Racine, you have bungalows. And sometimes they're side by side. Sometimes you have a ranch and then a bungalow. Like, especially over on the south side, not even what's normally known as West Racine, but if you go like on the south side or you go into areas of Kenosha as well, you will find that that the size of the house will affect the property taxes because your square footage is going to make a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else that you can think of?
Well, as I said, updates on the house. If you've, although the city assessors can't come into your house, they can't demand to come in.
Yeah, but if you had to pull
if
you've pulled a permit to do an update of some kind.
If you've pulled a permit or you've recently purchased the house, that means there would have been pictures taken and photos online for the sale of your property.
Which is sadly, I mean, everybody should pull a permit when they do work on their house. Yep. They really should. If you're required to pull a permit, you should pull a permit. But one of the main reasons people don't pull permits is because they don't want their taxes to go up.
Yeah.
And that's something I think the city needs to look at and maybe say, the cities need to look at and say, wait a second. So basically this person is being responsible. They're following the law. They're doing what they should. And you're going to punish them by raising their taxes. And their neighbor who didn't do what they were supposed to, but still has the same level house, we're not going to raise their taxes? Doesn't really seem like a fair system, does it?
It doesn't.
No. So, okay, so we've got lot size affects it, square footage affects it, location, condition, and what's another factor that affects the assessment of a house? You don't know?
I don't know.
Age.
Of course, yeah. I did actually mention that before and I'd forgot. Yeah, age.
Yep,
because as we get older, we're more valuable.
No. Actually, it's the opposite. As you get older, you get less valuable to a certain extent.
So I'm not as valuable now.
You're always valuable to me, honey.
There you go. See?
You just were fishing for that compliment, I think.
I was.
So,
reeled it in.
You reeled it right in, absolutely. So that's definitely some of the factors: lot size, location, condition, square footage, the age of a home. These are all factors that affect you. And the corner doesn't affect you at all as far as assessment. Now, what the corner, and the reason people think that corner lots do cost more, do you know why that is?
If the city assesses the roads or the sidewalks,
exactly,
you're on 2 of them.
And that's the thing. A corner lot does have a higher percentage of likelihood. So their odds of being assessed for road for road conditions or for sidewalk assessment or things like that are higher because they have two sides of their house with sidewalk and road.
Yeah.
So
as opposed to,
so it's not the regular
because the assessments is done on the square footage,
the lot, the size,
the footprint.
Yep.
That's on the road. So if you've got, 11 foot of
so that's
road,
one of the reasons
that's
why
what you have to pay for. But if you've got,
so like our
20
house
foot on one road and 10 foot on the other road, you've got a possible 30 foot that you've got to pay for.
Like our house, we have a very small, what's called front footage, basically. We have a very, very small front footage. And our house, actually, the back, it goes long and thin, which when it comes to special assessment, so it's not the regular tax assessment.
No.
It's special assessments. Now, but the thing I noticed is, so recently one of my sellers, in fact, this one's closing tomorrow, one of my sellers just got slapped with an assessment like this year. They're not even doing the work till next year, which really sucks because they're selling their house. But the assessment got put on before and they were not aware of it. And all of a sudden during the whole process, we found out there's this huge, like $7,000 plus assessment on their house, which takes, now, can they technically afford it? Yes. They're not having to not do, but nobody wants to give up $7,000 if they don't have to. So
we got them a really good deal for their house, and then it's like a bit of a slap in the face when all of a sudden
$7,000 less.
$7,000's coming off of that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's partly because their front footage is probably 4 times the size of our front footage. Yeah. I mean, they have a very long, narrow house with a really good sized front yard. It's got to be at least 4 times, maybe only 3, but I would say 3 to 4 times the size of our front footage, and also their location, their square footage is larger than our house. So, that's all of those factors. Their garage is the same size.
They're on a hill, so they need more gas to get to the top when they're doing the road.
No, that's not why at all. But the other reason is because the city of Racine, however, is doing something, and I thought you might find this interesting because you probably don't know this, and I didn't know this. I had to ask for the letter from the city. Right? So I needed to see the evidence that this assessment was put on at the date and time that it said, because we were kind of wondering when this was put on because the sellers knew nothing about it.
The sellers weren't aware of it.
They knew nothing about it, so we wanted the evidence, so we asked for the evidence.
To be fair, they was packing to move and...
No, this happened in June, apparently.
Yeah, but they was still packing
to
move.
It doesn't matter. No. They were aware, but they were not aware. Like, they were aware that something was there, but they didn't realize it had been finalized, and they didn't realize it was a definite. They thought they had fought it and won. But the letter, I found this really interesting. So this is something the city of Racine is doing. I don't know if other municipalities are, and I'd be interested to know if others are. But the city of Racine, in this letter, said there were 2 choices. They could either do bituminous concrete or the other one, I can't remember. Anyway, one is essentially, it's like the technical term for asphalt versus concrete. Okay? And if the neighborhood had chosen or the council had chosen to do the asphalt type, then any future repairs would be the responsibility of everybody on that road. So here's what this buyer is actually getting, because the letter also states, and I'm going to try and print this out and make sure the buyer gets a copy of this, but that if they go with the regular concrete, which is what they're going with, that was what they finally decided to do, that any future repairs would actually be on the city of Racine and not the responsibility of the homeowner. So this is like a one and done assessment, apparently. That's what the letter says.
Really?
Yes. The letter says, if we go with this type, the landlord or the homeowner will not be responsible in the future for any repairs on the street. That's what it says. I'm going to make sure the buyer has that letter because that's actually pretty valuable.
It is, to be able to pass that on if they decide
to sell. Absolutely. If they sell in the future, because then they can...
It may not need a repair for 20, 30 years, but if it does...
Exactly. If in 20 years she wants to sell, or the point is, they've got this letter from the city of Racine that states, because we're doing the higher level, you will not be responsible for any future assessment. I thought that was really fascinating.
What if they want a cheaper level?
The cheaper level was like $5,000, and the other was $7,000. And it wasn't their decision as the neighborhood. It was actually the city of Racine's decision to go with the more expensive.
Well, then they should pay the difference. If they decided to go,
apparently the city is already taking care of part of this anyway.
Are they?
This is just the amount that goes to the homeowners as well, which is kind of sad. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is supposed to be a one and done. So we'll see if the city of Racine actually sticks to that or not.
If they honor that, yeah.
Kind of to sum it up, basically that's where we're at. So corner houses don't necessarily cost more money. They certainly don't cost more money on your regular tax assessment.
No, square foot to square foot.
Yep.
They're
exactly the same. Lot size to lot size, they're exactly the same.
Yep.
All of those things. It's only on special assessments when there are road repairs that are assessed by the city where the homeowner becomes responsible for someone. That's the only time.
Yeah.
And that sometimes only happens every 30 years. That doesn't happen really often.
Doesn't.
Although in Racine right now,
by the state of the roads.
Although in Racine right now, I think it's happening. This is like the 30th year for every single neighborhood because it seems like everywhere we go, there's road works.
A lot of the roads are being updated.
Yeah. Now some of that is county and infrastructure that's going in, so that doesn't count for the city of Racine. But it's
Washington's been torn up.
Yep.
Some of our neighborhoods,
Durand,
some of the
Washington,
roads, the crossroads
16th Street. And a lot of the other streets as well. Douglas was tore up for a while as well. Northwestern is torn up right now as well. So anyway, lots of interesting stuff, guys. So if you have any questions, were there any questions that came in tonight? No questions? All right. Well,
we have 2 watchers.
Well, that's great, and welcome.
Hello, whoever you are. Drop a line and
always let us know.
Who you are.
Always let us know who you are and where you are, and we'll definitely respond to it. So anyway, I think that's all we've got for tonight. We're just going to go kind of a really quick broadcast. We're going to try and keep these a little bit shorter so you guys get some really great information, but you don't have to hang out for so long if you don't need to. So, so that's it. Corner houses don't cost more money unless it's a special assessment. And even then, it's not a definite because sometimes they're only assessing this one. And then the next time, like 10 years later, they're doing the next road. So only if they were to do the whole corner, like that whole intersection, would that even be a problem. So, So corner houses? No, that's kind of a myth. That's a fallacy. Corner houses don't cost more money. So anyway, thanks for joining us, guys.
So what's on for next week?
For next week, let me pull it up on my phone. Next week, I feel like I know. Let's see here. You would ask that when I'm not prepared to answer it, wouldn't you?
What's the date next week? Is September 16th, isn't it?
It is.
And that is closing day emotions can be sad.
Oh, closing day emotions.
Okay.
Yeah. Closing day emotions. What kind of emotions happen on closing day? Sad is sometimes the emotions. So join us next week and you will find out a little bit more about that and how that goes. So talk to you later. Have a great evening, guys. Bye for now.
Bye.